Hey everybody, it's me, Sharon Quinn, the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Today my very special guests are the official blogger for Full Figured Fashion Week, Miss Farrah Estrella, and she brought along a friend who is also an FFF Week 2015 model. Her name is LaTonia Robinson. We're going to be talking about blogging and modeling today on Model Behavior, so y'all keep the channels where they are. Anyway, hi ladies.
Hi.
Welcome to Model Behavior.
Thank you.
Farrah, everybody wants to know about this blogging thing. Blogging is just, it's like the new authoring or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So I want to ask you, how did you get started with the blogging?
Okay, I started actually I started in 2012. My own blog, but before that I was writing for examiner.com. It's just like an online paper. And I decided to start my blog because it was more personal. Blogging is more like it's reporting, but it's in a more personal level. It's through your eyes, and you have a more personal connection with your readers. And so I decided to do that, and I picked fashion because I used to be a model when I was young, and I love fashion. I've always loved fashion, and I was really into it, and I wanted to find a way to get back into fashion, but not necessarily modeling, and I wasn't sure like where exactly I was gonna fit in. But blogging seemed to be a good way to get my feet in the door, and it has opened a lot of doors.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that whole modeling thing because you just threw that out there and I didn't know that. But how does one, now I used to have a blog.
Right.
But I just blogged about whatever was on my mind. If I was in the kitchen frying chicken and a song came on that I liked, that's what I would write about.
Right.
But to be successful as a blogger, and you're quite successful, how do you focus? And I guess I'm asking is, what are the steps to having a successful blog?
First of all, I think that you have to take it seriously. I feel like you have a responsibility to your readers and to yourself to do it well and to give good content. You know, good information. Just because you're blogging, it doesn't mean that you're not giving out information and that people that you're blogging about don't exist. They do exist. So you might meet them somewhere. So you have to be careful, you know, about what you talk about.
So that's the difference between maybe good content and bad content?
Yeah, I will say that. And also be consistent. Like, you know, don't blog like today and then not blog for another 5 months. And, you know, just try to be consistent because people are going to, that's how you keep your audience. People are going to keep looking for your content every day. And then if
you're saying that you have to do it at least once a day?
I do it every day. Okay. But I know that not everybody has the time or the passion for it. I'm very passionate about it. It's something that I hopefully to do full time eventually in the future. But I love it. So I try to do it every day.
So how do you, to have a successful blog, how do you make money from a blog? Let's just put it like that.
There are many ways that you can make money. You can team up with brands basically and produce content for them, sort of like do reviews of clothing, an item, the brand itself. You can also have ads on your blog where when people click on them and they purchase something, you get a percentage of it. There's also teaming up with, the biggest thing now for bloggers is teaming up with brands where they develop their own collections.
What?
Yes. So like, you know, like sort of in the plus size world, for example, you know, a lot of companies like will want to team up with a blogger and sort of develop a line. Like Ashley Grant, for example, she's a model. She has a lingerie line with Edition L, I believe, and others. And I believe she's coming up with her own. So teaming up with a big brand and sort of do a small collection for them is also a very successful thing.
So, okay, let me just get this straight. I gotta wrap my head around this. So bloggers are getting their own clothing lines?
Yes.
From working with a specific brand?
Yes. So let's just say, for example, X brand will want to work with a certain blogger. They let you curate basically 12 items that they would let you put your name on them, sort of like, let's say, Farrahs Estrella for X brand. And so when people go and shop, these are items that I would wear, that I approved. And, you know, it depends on what you, of course, work out with the brand. You could get, you know, a percentage of the sales. You could just get a flat fee from it. So there's different ways to make money, yeah.
See, that's, okay. See, that's where that whole, now I've heard this term thrown out that bloggers are the new models. So I'm gonna use this as a segue to ask the little model here, how do you feel about that sort of thing? Because I understand that with the blog, you have to have a huge following in order for something like that to happen.
Absolutely,
right?
yes, you do. You do have to, because you have to bring you have to have the numbers, the audience for them to buy.
Okay.
So
how does that make you feel as a model who's?
Well, not every blogger is actually getting a deal, so it doesn't necessarily bother me. They have a lot of engagement. Those bloggers who are getting those deals have a large following. They get a lot of engagement, so it only makes sense for a brand to maybe want to connect with them if they connect with the audience that they're trying to reach. So to me, it makes sense, but it's different than actually modeling all the way, because, you know, as a blogger, you're putting your thoughts out there. You're telling everybody your spin on what you believe for this piece of clothing. A model doesn't get to do that. My job is to model the clothes that you give me. I don't get to talk about the pieces. I don't get to sell the pieces unless you've hired me as a spokesperson. So it's a little bit different.
That's a good way of putting it. Okay. And it doesn't bother you, not a little bit?
Just a little bit, yes. But, you know, they get the opportunity to talk with their fans or their followers, and a model doesn't really have any say-so. So they're more in touch with their fan base versus me modeling for Lane Bryant or Levi's or Calvin Klein, whoever I may be working for. It's different.
But are we in danger of this trend becoming the norm and maybe sort of cutting into your business? That's what I'm really trying to do.
It does cut in, just like celebrities who are used as spokespeople to model for companies. It does cut into the market share. It does change things. But at the same time, I think it also broadens the scope. Say, for instance, Farrah Estrella, she wears a size 24, whereas the models that they're showing are a size 14, 6, 8, 0. So people of her size are not getting any spotlight. She brings that attention. Hey, there's a demographic here. You're not reaching this audience. And you see someone who's beautiful like her, and that's your audience, but you're not marketing to them, you know? So it helps to open doors also.
That's a very good point.
yeah, I agree with her. I feel like bloggers have a niche. It doesn't necessarily, like she said, it does cut into the market, but it's just a different way of promoting and marketing a brand. Just like, you know, when like an actress get a cosmetic, you know, endorsement and not a model, you know, or a cover of a magazine, there's still an audience for that actress because she's done movies and, you know, she may have a different following that it may include guys and girls and, you know, all different types of ages and things like that. So it's just a different way of marketing. Like in my example, like she was saying, I'm on the larger size of plus, which doesn't get a lot of you know, marketing. Most of the models that they use for the plus brands are going to be in your 14, 16 size. They're not usually in the larger size. And so my audience feels a little, you know, like, hey, you're not advertising to me. So because of my blog, I'm able to reach to them. And so that would be a good way of a brand try to reach out to that market. So it's a niche, I feel like.
So wouldn't it make sense for a model to perhaps start a blog?
I feel like everyone should have a blog. I mean, even if you have a brand, I feel like you have to have a blog because it's your point of view. It's a blog is your point of view. You're talking about yourself through your eyes, not the political correct way, not what everybody wants to hear, not the cookie cutter way. It's like, hey, listen, this is what I like. I like cake. I eat chocolate. You're making that personal connection. So if you're a model, you want to connect with your followers. If you are a brand, you want people to know, not just go by the reviews that the press is going to give you or that the bloggers are going to give you, but you want to show your point of view as a brand and say, hey, you know, like I was talking to a client about that because I've done some social media work, and I was telling them, hey, if you have an employee that's been in your company for 30 years, put it in your blog. Like, you know, we don't know that, but you want to give props to that employee. You want them to know, hey, this is we're happy that you've been with us for so long, or that's your point of view as a company that we are hearing. So I feel like, yes, every brand should have a blog. I think it's very important for people to see, to hear from you directly, not just the, like, you know what I mean? Like, just like the straight way to hear things. Like, we want to hear the behind the scenes, like how things are made, how things happen. I feel like that's very important.
So how do you get followers to come to your blog?
Well, you have to promote, advertise, a lot of, when you go to like events, of course, you hand out your cards, you try to network. I'm a huge network person. Everywhere I go, I try to.
Yes, I know.
I try to talk to everyone. But, I also tell everybody, is as important as it is to make the connection, it's important to also keep the relationship. Because I can meet, anybody tomorrow, but if I don't follow up with an email, I don't, do what I say I'm gonna do. If I'm working with a brand and they ask me to do something and I don't do it, then they're not gonna keep working with me. So I'm not gonna continue to have that relationship. Right. And I feel like that's where a lot of people drop the ball. Like, you can make that connection and meet the president of whatever brand, but if you don't follow up and continue and build a relationship, then it's not gonna work. And I feel like that's where you can, establish and make a difference.
Okay. So you're the official blogger for FFF Week. That's quite an honor.
Thank you. Yes.
Tell me what that's been like for you.
It's been amazing. I love Gwen DeVoe and her team. They've always been very welcoming to me. They've always embraced me, and I'm really appreciative of their support. I love what she's doing for the plus size community. I feel like she's a pioneer by producing an event of such high quality, having such great brands, models. I feel like it's an immense, like, people have no idea, or those who don't know have no idea how great of a thing it is. And I appreciate her a lot. Like, I see her vision and I believe in it, and so that's why I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Okay, I'm going to come back because I want to ask you what your experiences have been like covering the stuff in your blog that's happening, and a lot of things are happening with FFF Week. But I want to talk to you because this is your second year as a Full Figure Fashion Week model, right?
This is my second year, yes.
Let's talk a little bit, even though this is about blogging, let's talk a little bit about what your experience has been like.
Well, I actually auditioned in 2013, and I didn't make the cut. And
I don't remember you.
See, and that was the problem. But I learned a lot from that experience because I started modeling in 2012. I started taking pictures and started going to castings, and then I went to the Full Figure Fashion Week casting in Orlando, and I realized that as much as I thought I was ready, I wasn't ready, and that's probably why you didn't remember me. I wore the wrong shoes, and I didn't test it right, and I learned from that experience. So when I came back in 2014, I did everything better. I took better pictures, I practiced in my shoes, I practiced my walk, and it paid off and apparently caught you guys' eye. And I was asked to be a model last year, and I worked hard to do even better, and I got selected for this year, and I'm honored, and I love the entire experience. I've done shows that are straight-sized and plus size, and this is the only plus size show that I truly, truly love. I feel like it embraces the whole plus size culture with fashion. It's very welcoming. When I do a straight size show, I may be the only plus size girl for a collection or in a line of clothes, and there are 13 other designers and one plus designer, and I'm sitting in the back.
Welcome to my world.
Yes, and it's kind of heartbreaking. It's like, I want to walk for more than one designer. I want to go out there and do that, but I'll sit here and I'm thankful for what I have, but I'd like a little bit more opportunities, and then, I'm a plus size girl, so I wear shapewear. And at a straight size show, there's no shapewear. And I'm proud to put on my shapewear, but when I did Full Figure Fashion Week, every girl has on shapewear, and it's just wonderful. We're all talking, where did you get that from? And it's welcomed, it's not looked down upon because, plus size people, plus size women, we wear shapewear, and I like that, it just, the whole experience.
You know what I dig about the whole, the modeling piece with Full Figure Fashion Week is that, now I've been doing it since the 80s. I've been in this game for a long time, but the camaraderie amongst the models, it is the most beautiful thing to watch. Everybody's friends, or they're pretending really well if they're not friends. But the competition piece is not there because everybody is there for the same goal.
Yes.
And friendships get started and they go on for lifetimes, just about. Everybody sort of stays in touch, and I dig that. And I kind of like the fact that I had something to do with putting all those people together in
Yes.
one room. Because I've seen some mess go on with models, but it doesn't happen here. Thank the Lord. Farrah, now tell me what you've been doing. Tell me about this official blogger of FFF Week. What does that entail?
Well, I will be covering all of the events. Actually, I have a pass for the entire week, so I get to attend all of them. And during the events are very good because there's not just fashion shows. There are seminars where, of course, people get to learn about the business, which is a great thing because you don't get to see that anywhere. So we get to learn behind the scenes and get a lot of great information. So I'm looking forward to covering those. But also, meeting the models and the designers that are coming. I think we have people from Australia coming, Chicago this year. So, and it's always great. Even bloggers from Puerto Rico and Germany, different places that are coming to the event, which is amazing to me. So I love that.
Now you have to. You do a blog post every week or every?
No, I'm actually posting every day.
Oh.
Yes, every day for the event because there's so many events, and I want the followers to know that hey, this is I'm looking at the event through look at the event through my eyes, and so I'm attending everything. I'm taking pictures of everything. I'm making videos and putting them on my blog, Instagram, Facebook. It's like, hey guys, if you didn't come to the event, like look at here are the pictures. Here's everything.
Tell everybody quickly what your blog address is.
My blog is www.estrellafashionreport.com.
Spell it.
ESTRELLA, estrellafashionreport.com.
All right. So now you said earlier when we were off camera that you started modeling at an early age. How did that experience tie into the whole fashion blog?
It's been amazing. I started modeling when I was about 13 years old. I'm from the Dominican Republic, so I started modeling when I was in the DR, and it was great. I was so young, and I got to learn a lot. I actually went to modeling school as well because it's very typical in the Dominican Republic for us to do that, to send usually the teenagers, even if they don't pursue modeling, they still go for like etiquette and just learning, how to sit, how to do your makeup. They teach you on how to do all these different things, which is, I think, it's a great opportunity. So I actually went to modeling school in the Dominican Republic, but, I did some modeling there. And then when I moved to the United States, when I was 17, I did some modeling, not a whole lot. And then I kind of went away from that for a while because I was focusing on school and working, how life goes. But then that fashion has always been my passion, so I was like, I really want to get back into the blogging and to the fashion thing. And I was doing my research because I was like, I really don't want to model anymore. I mean, I'm plus size. I don't want. Not that I couldn't, but I just didn't want to. I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do. Like, I'm not ready to design. I'm not ready to, do other things. So doing my research, I found blogging. I love writing. So it just kind of worked really well for me. It gave me access to, I started covering events locally because I'm from Tampa, and it gave me access to, the events, backstage, meeting the models, the designers. So it gave me great access. I was like, well, this is fantastic because I can write about it, take pictures, and meet all these great people, enjoy the show. So it was really exciting for me, and it still is, because just having all that access is great.
So, because I'm hearing you say press and media access, and you taking pictures and all this stuff. You may be trying to segue into a different aspect of entertainment. like maybe on camera stuff?
I do. I would love to have my own show. I don't know. I'm like old school, so I don't know if you remember back in the day. I always say I'm not that old, but there was a show on CNN by this journalist called Elsa Clinch.
Oh, style, baby. Yes.
Oh my God! And that, I grew up with that. Like I remember being a teenager in the Dominican Republic, and we used to go to class, they always had it on the TV, and everywhere, like they used to show it like Saturdays, and I would not miss that show.
Me either.
I love her to death, and actually I've been trying to track her down for a long time.
That was the fashion Bible. You had to watch that.
And I would love to see a show like that where she had a lot of access backstage. Like she was able to go to, like, you know, into Paris, for example, and go into the couture houses, and you know, couture is like something that it's a dying art, basically. There are only not that many couture houses anymore, and so it's like I would love to have the opportunity to go behind the scenes and show people, like, hey, this is how couture is made.
A lot of people think they know what couture means, and they really don't.
So, you know, like, she had all this access. She also, it was more like a lifestyle, because she also did a lot of interior design as well. But I did love the fashion part of it, where she would go into the, you know, anywhere, like into the actual showroom, like, you know, for example, you know, Dior, or, you know, and Chanel or whatever, and she'll go and they'll show her backstage, and like, this is how a dress is made, this is how we do this. Like, I love things like that.
Sort of like this show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, what kind? Now, this is me being funny. I know that the bloggers, y'all get a lot of perks.
We do.
You get a lot of perks. The gift bag is lovely.
Yes, we do get a lot of perks. You know, we do get a lot of free clothing, and, you know, things like that. But as much as we also get free things, we also spend a lot of money. It's very costly to, you know, for example, go to Paris to cover a fashion week, or even come to New York. Because a lot of times you do get like an endorsement from a brand. Well, they would sponsor you and they'll pay for everything, but a lot of bloggers don't. So you kind of have to pay your own way, you know, to New York, your hotel, your, you know, everything, your ticket. And
okay, so that's just like when I first started modeling, I had to pay transportation and stuff, but I did it because I wanted to be in these shows and I wanted to participate.
Absolutely.
So how do you, what does it take to segue from coming out of your own pocket to getting a sponsor? How do you go out and get a sponsor?
Well, I feel like you have to pay your own way. You have to do it because you have to put yourself in a position where you meet the right people, you market yourself well, and people see, like, you know what, she's taking this seriously. This is something that she really wants to do. You have to invest in yourself. Like in any business, it's an investment. So like, just because you're going to Fashion Week, people think it's fun. Yes, it's an investment. You're going there, but you also have to give the show justice. Like, you know, take pictures, post about it, blog about it, not just go and post about what you're wearing, but also blog about what you are, you know, covering. You're actually there for Fashion Week. So the designers want to see that, you know what, she's taking this seriously. She's actually, you know, blogging about my brand. And then once they see that, then they will be willing to, you know, work with you and sponsor you, because they feel like, oh, you know what, she will be a good somebody that we could work with, because she really likes our brand and want to, you know.
As opposed to a blog full of pictures of you dressed in the clothing.
Yes, I mean,
I'm not trying to be shady, but I see a lot of that.
I believe that you have to have a balance. You know, in my blog, because it's fashion news, I cover about everything, you know, fashion news. But through blogging in my 3 years, it so happens that if I'm at an event and I'm taking a picture, a lot of people are interested in what I'm wearing. So they're like, hey, well, what are you wearing? Like, where do you get this? And because of my size, I'm a size 24, you know, that particular audience is like, oh, but you dress so nice. Where did you get your clothes? Like, I don't find stuff like that. So then I have to sort of do my outfits post as well. And that came after my blog, you know, kind of like took off a little bit, because people ask me about it, and it has to do because probably my size, and many things I don't know, but they seem to be interested in it, and I kind of have to do it because it's something that they want to do. So, but I feel like you have to have a balance. You have to show the fashion part, but you also have to give them information. Like after a while, people are going to be like, okay, well, I'm tired of seeing outfits all the time. I want some content, something that I can read and share and learn,
Okay. So how did y'all meet?
We met actually at the audition for Full Figure Fashion Week in Orlando that she attended that she didn't make. I actually saw her there because I was taking pictures. I was covering it for my blog. And then after, because we live in Tampa, I didn't know her, but we live in Tampa. We attended an event and I saw her and I was like, oh, you've been to the Full Figure Fashion Week audition. And then that's how we became friends.
So what is the question I want to ask? So you guys met at the casting I remember you at, because I don't remember. So I would think that this would be an interesting friendship. There's no
rhyme or reason. I think that Farrah and I share some of the same interests. We're both very passionate about fashion, and because we are both in Tampa, we happen to be within the same circle of going to different events, and so it kind of just became second nature that we became friends. She has a great personality. I think it just meshed well, and since we're always going to the same events anyway, it just works out,
Now you're also an actress, right?
No.
I thought you. Well,
Not an
you do
actress.
something else though.
Not an actress.
No,
No.
I think you should be an actress.
Well, I'll
Okay.
take that. Yes,
Yeah.
I do work with some. I work for a not-for-profit that does. It's called the K.I.S Foundation. It's for raising awareness about sickle cell disease. So I have some celebrity friends. Yes, that might be why.
I don't know why I thought you were actress, but we're almost out of time. We got about 2 minutes left. So tell everybody again, real quick, website.
www.estrellafashionreport.com. Estrella is my last name, which is Estrella.
Okay. You got a website too?
Yes, LaToniaRobinson.com.
All right. So thanks again. We're almost out of time. I want to thank you guys for watching Model Behavior. I want to thank my guests, Farrah Estrella
Thank you.
and LaTonia Robinson. Before I go, as always, I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. First, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. 2, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the rules of the game. And 3, do what you love and love what you do. Until next time, thanks for watching Model Behavior. Class is officially dismissed. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and all of the other pages we have. If you haven't caught up on all of the Model Behavior episodes, be sure to tune into our new YouTube channel, and you can just put in Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn, and all of the episodes will come up. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next Saturday at 11:30. Bye, y'all.